Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Science and the Holy Quran, Part 14. Chapter 76, Surah Al-Zahar. Verse 2. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna khalaqna al-insana min nutfatin amshajin nabtalihi faja'alnahu samiyan basira. Translation: We created man from a mixture of drops and gave him the power to see and listen so that we can test him. So, comments, Allah says that there was a time when humans did not exist. And Allah created a human by two types of water, that is, semen, which contains sperms, and ovum, which comes from female. And then it is a human being is developed, which has senses and can see and listen. So I will not go in details because this topic has also been discussed in much greater details in the following uh, chapters: Surah Hajj, chapter 22, verse 5, Surah Al-Mu'minun, chapter 23, verses 12 to 14, Surah Al-Najm, chapter 53, verses 45 to 46, and Surah At-Tariq. It will come later, chapter 86, verses 6 to 7. Chapter 77, Surah Al-Mursalat, verse 1 to 4. وَالْمُرْسَلَاتِ عُرْفًا فَالْعَاصِفَاتِ عَصْفًا وَالنَّاشِرَاتِ نَشْرًا فَالْفَارِقَاتِ فَرْقًا. Allah's translation: Allah swears the soft and pleasant wind which brings relief. It may then turn into storm which causes damage and discomfort, and the winds which carry moisture to distant places to provide rainwater for land, and those which split the clouds after rain. Again, these topics have been discussed in great detail in Surah Nur, chapter 24, verses 43-44, and Surah Ad-Dariyat, chapter 51, verses 1 to 4. You can find them in my previous vlogs. Then chapter 78, Surah An-Naba. Verse 7, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wal Jibala Atada. Translation: Did he not make mountains as stakes to stabilize the earth? So, emphasis is on stakes. So, Allah made mountains which stabilized the trembling earth like stakes. So, these have been mentioned in a previous surah as well. But now, let us look at it in a different perspective. Now we know that Earth crust is much thicker beneath the mountains, for which the word root is usually used. Modern science uses the word root, but it is not correct. Quran has used much better word. The stakes, that is pegs or picket, which the Holy Quran used, are those which are used to anchor a tent in the ground. And there, in the case of mountains, their depth has been found to be from 1 mile to 10 miles deep. This is according to Dr. Maurice Bohel, who wrote the Bible, the Quran, and the science. So, according to an expert geologist, Dr. Zawlul Al-Nagar, who is a PhD in geology from the University of Wales, just as most of the picket or peg is hidden in either soil or rock to hold one end of the tent to the ground surface, most of the mountain is hidden in the Earth's lithosphere. The term picket or peg is both literally and scientifically more correct than the term root, which is currently used for mountains. And even a common man can understand As you can see that roots, they spread in all directions and they are have branches. While these pegs, they are solid, they are at one place. So the geologists have found that these are the mountains. The lower part of mountains is like a peg. But I don't know why they still use the word root for it. Quran has used a much better word, in fact, which exactly fits the definition. So it can be concluded that the Holy Quran used the correct word as an example. Now it is amazing because in those days, in the days of the revelation of Holy Quran, 1400 years ago, more than that, the science of geology did not exist at all. Nobody knew what is beneath the earth. And nobody knew what is beneath a mountain, of course, and what shape it has. So it is an amazing revelation, and only Allah can give this information. Now, verse 12 to 13, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَبَنَيْنَا فَوْقَكُمْ سَبْعًا شِدَادًا وَجَعَلْنَا سِرَاجًا وَهَّاجًا. Translation: We built seven strong skies above you and placed a blazing lamp, the sun. This blazing lamp, the sun, has been mentioned in previous chapters, and I have explained it in detail. So, but I will here focus on seven strong skies, that is heavens. So people wonder that we see only one sky. So from where these seven skies are mentioned? Now let us look at it scientifically. We know that the modern science divides the universe into two parts: the visible or observable universe and the invisible universe. So because light travels at a finite speed, we can only see objects whose light has had time to reach us since the beginning of the universe, that is the Big Bang. So this is the boundary of the visible or observable universe, right? So this observable universe is essentially a sphere centered on us because we are seeing on all directions with a radius equal to the distance light has traveled since the Big Bang. That is about 13.8 billion years ago. So it is the part of the universe we can currently observe with our telescopes. This is just one part of the universe, observable universe. So this may help to understand it better. So the observable universe is that within this circle, and just beyond that, that is unobservable universe. And we know absolutely nothing about this universe which is beyond the observable universe. And it may actually have seven layers, which are referred to as skies in this verse. And the lowest layer of sky is the boundary of the visible or observable universe. And somewhere in the Holy Quran, it is mentioned that Allah has studied it with stars. So that definition exactly fits it. So we are, our observations are only limited to the first sky. So there must be six other skies which are above, which we cannot observe. So this topic has also been discussed in these chapters, but in a different perspective. So these all have been discussed already in my previous vlogs. Then chapter 79, Surah An-Naziyat. Verse 30. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal arda bada zalika dahaha. Translation, he spread the earth in the shape of an egg. Now comments, the Holy Quran clearly stated that the earth is round more than 1400 years ago. Egg is round. So if it is saying that it is like an egg, it means that uh, it is saying that earth is round. So the Quran has used the word dahaha, which specifically means ostrich egg, according to Dr. Zakir Naik. And only the ostrich egg and no other egg is geospherical in shape like the earth. That is flattened at the top and bottom and circumference greatest in the middle. Okay? Normally the egg its height is greater than its width. But in this case, in the ostrich egg, the width is greater than the height and and naturally then the circumference is greatest in the middle. So here you can see the comparison. Left is the actual shape of our earth and right is this ostrich egg. So it is obvious that nobody in the days of the revelation of the Holy Quran had any idea about the shape of the earth. In fact, generally speaking, it was considered as flat. You may be remembering that Columbus, when he set off to find the New World, he could not find the sailors because they thought that at the end of the world they will fall down out of the earth. So generally, people thought that it was flat. Although Pythagoras and Aristotle, the Greek scientists, philosophers, they had pointed towards the possibility of the earth being round. But this knowledge was not available to Arabs because in those days the communication was not like these days. And even if someone had such a knowledge in the Arab world, it was impossible for him to exactly describe its shape. That is, it resembles an ostrich egg. I mean, just to say that it is round is not enough. So its actual shape has to be described. And nobody could have described it except Allah. So, verse 32. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wal jibala ars. Sorry, this internet interruption. Internet is slow these days, so I'm profoundly sorry for that. Let us continue. So, this topic has also been discussed in detail in these chapters. So, my other series, Famous Persons, The Other Side, Scientists of the Golden Age of Islam, and miscellaneous topics, Divan and completed Japan series. And I have repeatedly shown how you can reach my vlogs. So please subscribe and share. Thank you very much for your attention. Allah Hafiz.